Okay, assalamu alaikum. I have another channel which is called Ikra Holistic Leisure Learning University, which is a podcast of the other articles of the Argus articles that was published, which I wrote, uh, is actually on the other one. This one is videos of the articles we missed. We didn't, in actual fact, do the podcast of it. As the lady who did it, she's not available anymore. So we did a lot, but we didn't do all of it. So yeah, basically I'm using the other YouTube, which is Ikra Comprehensive School YouTube, to record the other ones that were that's missing. So the next one here that was published, Education Was with Muhammad Fadl Arnold. It was published on in April the 11th, 2019. And the topic that the August took or gave to this article I wrote was time to take control of education. And in subheading is national provincial departments have failed us. Now communities must step up and take charge. Okay, there's a picture there. I didn't read the other pictures subheading. Then Deputy Minister Stella Mbendi Abrams in 2017 during a tour of Allen Ridge Secondary School in Robbie Ridge to create awareness of social ills such as drug abuse and teenage pregnancies, which led to a high dropout rate in schools. Okay, so they picked the picture as well and then they put it onto the article. I wrote about 55 articles 2 years, right at the end of 2018 and beginning of 2019. Okay, here's the article I wrote. More people have jobs with less school education than those who have completed school and universities. Those who have higher education beyond grade 12 have also more debt to contend with. When markets slack, it becomes more profitable to employ people with less schooling than those with higher qualifications. So the unemployment and underemployment among varsity graduates is understandable. Not acceptable, but it's understandable what's happening in terms of the planning. I'm just adding that on. It's not in the article. With South African education at its lowest level and the crime rate so high at schools, we have to question our national and provincial education departments' professionalism. They have failed our children. They are steeped in their specialist subjects and do not see the greater damage they cause. Or maybe they do, but possibly do not care. Often subject departments compete in the number of A's they can get in their subject. I was appalled to see this kind of competitive talk amongst education chiefs. Changing policies and assessment criteria to get higher pass rates is a norm in education departments. This may be the reason why companies prefer to employ people with lower academic standards, because it is cheaper and the person can be trained earlier and better because such a worker needs less deprogramming from the bureaucracy in bureaucratic inappropriate skills that exist in education. The situation is critical, and the education departments are asking communities to help. It is time that communities take over education from the departments officially. We as a community must put forward the needed all subjects holistic, non-bureaucratic, non-capitalistic, non-colonial curriculum for our children. We definitely know better what our children and our communities need, and we can at this stage provide a better service to our children. If work ethic and verbal communication skills are needed for jobs, then we should seriously look at scrapping written, fragmented, memory-based examinations. All our children are IT specialists thanks to cell phones. We simply need a caring environment that is flexible and holistic, that creates jobs and security for families. State corruption drains our society. To get rid of it, we need to change our present education structure, in which people are taught how to manipulate marks and percentages to give the impression that education is successful. We need real change with real people who have real educational values. The education department's policies bully children, parents, teachers, principals, and governing bodies into prescriptions. If they simply got off their high horse, then they would become grounded to change for the better. Let's do it now before everyone falls. Listen to the parents on the ground. Listen also to the youth, and then structure their rights into the education plan. Let every school and every community work together and make South Africa proud for the world to share in her success again. We can do it. We do not need to compare ourselves with others to be successful. If the department is paying only 70 to 80 rand per day for a child's education and no new teachers are employed, then we know that most of the money for education goes to high profile officials and consultants. If more youth get jobs without tertiary education, then we must rethink the true values of our present education drive. The internet and free online courses place the world at our feet. Schools can never provide what our children have access to on their phones. They just need our guidance, not our restrictions. Opening up the possibilities for open all subject education with ethics and communication skills, which include artistic expression of each one's holistic interest is the only general requirement for advancement. The present curriculum content is outdated. Companies are now paying talented pupils as trainers. Let's have more of these in-school jobs for youth finances financed by companies for their tax breaks. This will increase more international investments into South Africa because cash sales will increase. The investments then go directly to the children and not to the education officials who often restructure education policies to keep themselves in their jobs. End of the article. Nanzalani. Alhamdulillah, that's the second one. End of the stream. And